Hello guys, this is Troublemaker giving you another great cheese. So I am playing Terran here. This is the red Terran Troublemaker, and the blue we have our guinea pig .net. So this is a diamond level game, so this cheese is guaranteed to work up until diamond. So I'm going to speed this up just a little bit, go through the normal standard stuff. Got my supply depot. So with the cheese, you want to make it look a normal build. So you do two things with a normal build for zergs. You can go for a 2-Rex, or you can go for reactor Hellions, and that's really all Terrans are doing as far as like normal builds go. And so he's going for early Roach Warden, but we're just going to go with my vision, just because we want to see my level of scouting, all that stuff. So we do have the factory going down, and I will reactor this barracks as soon as I get the gas. And doom. And I'm going in for the scout. The only important thing to scout here is an expansion timing. So it's a late expansion timing. I didn't scout the Roach Warden, but I saw the drone running here for the expansion. So I know he in fact is going to expand. This means I'm generally safe for a little bit. It's going to take him a little bit to macro up and make that expansion worthwhile. So, I mean, this build is pretty safe. And that's just early scouting information. Basically, that will tell you a lot. And I'm going to do another game that's going to be based on scouting information. What you see and how you should respond. And in this one, I saw he's got the expansion. I saw the early spawning pool. I also saw the early gas, and my thought here is that he's going for a speedling expand. I'm totally wrong, by the way, but whatever other builds he comes up with based on this are wrong. So I have made this swap, and I do have some reactor Hellions. I'm from China. Come out. I'm laying down a preemptive armory. That can go a little bit later if you want to, but that's fine. And make sure to get your gas so you get your armory down. You might even be able to get your gas out earlier. We got the Marauders coming out, and we got some custom shells. So what we have here is a Marauder Thor push. And when you're doing this Marauder Thor push, you have to get the Hellions just so that it looks like something else. And also the Hellions are going to deal with Lings. Now this is a pretty supply heavy build, so make sure you're building your supply depot as well in advance. I do get supply blocked, and that's a bad thing. So the Hellions are going to deny scouting, and they're also going to do a little bit of the scouting on their own. And generally speaking, 95% of people will have their defenses up at the front to confront Hellions. So I go up here and I see, ooh shit, roaches. So now I kind of know what we're going to see. He's got 3 roaches, which is, you only need like 1 or 2 roaches to really defend against Hellions. So 3 roaches kind of tells me that a lot more are coming, and I know that. Marauders, I'm kind of smiling too, because Marauders can take care of roaches very cost effectively. So I'm not particularly scared. This is just a standard part of the build. I'm going to move the factory here, put a tech lab on it, and I'm going to build a Rax in its place. And that's going to let me pump out Marines and eventually my Thor. So with this build makeup, the Marauders will take care of roaches, and will soak hits from Banelings, and will tank damage from Zerglings. Marines will deal DPS, and they're just kind of like, spare minerals. The Thors will take care of the air, and they will soak hits. And the Hellions will roast all the Zerglings. And it's semi-important to keep every single Hellion alive. I know it's a lot to ask for, but it's true. Keep most of your Hellions alive. And so, just continue pumping with these Marauders. 4 or 5 is a good number. The more Marauders you have, the better. Obviously, just keep building your supply depots. I'm not going to get supply blocked again, am I? Nope. And so he's coming up with his scouting lanes to see what's going on, and he only sees Hellions, right? He doesn't see these Marauders, and so here comes the Roach Baneling push. So this is kind of a cheese. Basically what this is about is you're going to open the doors with the roaches, and the Baneling is going to come around the back and attack the what are they called again? SCVs. So I pulled my SCVs just in time. He's not going to get any good Baneling hits off here. And he's only got 1 Baneling left, so I'm pretty safe. But unfortunately, I dumbly run my SCVs into the Baneling. He's not going to get a lot of SCV kills here at all. But he has injured quite a few SCVs with that attack. and I am losing the dreaded supply depot. So the follow-up for this, for a Zerg player, is to either get more of the same stuff or expand. So your reaction to this will always be cut SCVs and, you know, get more stuff. Always. And so he's going for basically the same tactic again. Do I handle this better? No, I in fact handle this worse. I didn't really move my SCVs because I wasn't really afraid of him. And unfortunately, didn't do a lot of damage. He used about 8 Banelings to kill off about 5 SCVs. And so you look at the income, and you know he's only slightly ahead. So you know he's not doing too hot. So the Hellions are going out, and basically the reason for this is because you know once you do something successful, you feel like doing it over and over and over. So I had a feeling he'd have just a Zergling sitting out there, and that can kind of push them off. And you know, just kind of a guess, right? I'm just guessing, and I get a Roach down to a 50% health before he turns around with all his Roach buddies and scares me away. So I'm gonna rush these Hellions back. Hellions paying for themselves in full. 4, 2, 7, 4. Like they're paying very effectively. It's not hard to be angry at this. My supply is massive right now. He doesn't have much of an army at all. And he's just building them like crazy. And that's good, right? That's really part of the build, is that every single encounter we do, I will trade very effectively against him. And this round of roaches should make the supply a little bit closer, and he's supply blocked as well. So right now, we're just cranking it Marauder, Marine, Thor, and that's all you really need. So we're coming out here. We're gonna try and test the ground. So as far as this goes, like, you know, the Hellions are pretty on board, and you want to keep those alive just for the sake of the Lings. I don't bring any SCVs on this push except for this one injured SCV. It's generally a good idea to bring like 2 or 3. It just gives you a higher success rate on this push. And so it's a 72 versus 60 supply, and you know this is kind of a bad micro. Make sure your Thor goes in first, just because you want your Thor to be the target. The guy gets targeted first. He's going to soak damage. Now the only exception is if you think that he is going to have, not Marauders. If he's going to have, God, I'm an idiot, Mutalisks. So we're going to bunch up all our units together, and you know, Zerglings are getting taken care of by these Hellions, and we got to make sure to micro them effectively against the Zerglings, and everything else. Once the Zerglings clean up, everything else is going to take care of the Roaches. So now looking at supplies here. Marauders trading very effectively with the Roaches, Marines are doing damage against everything, and we have Hellion just cleaning up a lot of Lings. The reason why this build is so good is mostly because the Zergs really just don't know how to respond to it at all. They look and they say like, well, you know, I'm just going to build like a lot of stuff. That's all they kind of say. I'm going to build a lot of stuff. So I do have reinforcing units coming in. I do decide to turn these around just because you want to have a nice cluster of units, a nice big chunk of units. Income-wise, you know, after that attack, I'm just massively ahead. Well, actually not really. I'm a little bit behind actually, but because he lost that base, we're about even. And I actually have more gas than him as well. It's kind of interesting. So, building in more of the barracks. He's going to try and pick off what he can. Just put your dudes at a choke and fire him. He'll be forced to run. He's not going to bottleneck them in. He's just going to lose units. So at this point, I'm getting stim. And this is kind of after the fact. The match is actually over right now. I mean, the Zerg player doesn't know it yet, but it's over. So at this point, like, there's a few things you can suspect Zergs are doing. One, fast-teching to something really weird that, you know, could hurt you, like infestors, muta harassment, or yeah, that's probably about it. Fast banelings. That's the other one that can hurt you. Fast banelings and fast roaches. And the other thing is he can triple expand. Now once again, I'm not really scouting. I mean, I still don't know if there's a roach baneling nest. Well, I know they're there, but I haven't scouted that yet. He might have a lair. I don't know, right? But I'm going to rush in with a big pack of Marauders, lots of Marines, and, you know, a much larger Thor force. I'm also bringing in a repairing SV, specifically for Thors. This time around, I do not have the Hellions, and, you know, that will have a little effect on it, but I am getting the stim pack, so that's going to, you know, balance it out.
Mineral field completed.
So I came here just to check to see if there's a third base, because if there's a third base, I'm just going to destroy it right away, punish them. These rocks here, you don't want to destroy as a Terran. I know a lot of people say don't destroy these, just because it opens a flanking path for the Zergs, and you don't want that. You want that in your own base just because it's easier to defend, but against Zergs, as you see now, Thors are in front, just a little bit of micro move. You still want a bunch of units, so it's kind of a pointless endeavor, but on the approach, keep your Thors in front. He's streaming in Zerglings as they're getting made, and he's got a bunch over here. The purpose is just to pull Thors away and try and kill as many as you can. So that wasn't a very good trade for me, but I mean, I did kill a lot of Zerglings, and like I said, the game's pretty much over at this point. Any unit that he builds at this point will get sniped pretty easily. So I guess they're going to try and do this little tactic again. He did go for reinforcing units, so I'm stockpiling him here. Now he's baiting the Thor again, but this time I'm not really going to fall for that. I'm going to be a little more attentive. And just so you know, like, this is not the highest APM games. Like, you know, we're about, you know, mid-level APM, so yes, you can get to Diamond easily with mid-level APM. Start facing really good cheesers instead of those really bad cheesers. And bottleneck here, and this is actually it. Once the drones get pulled, you 110% know that you have won the game. I mean, look at the income, like, it just plummets really, really fast. And just so you know, I've taken expansion. Why not? My minerals in the main's almost out. Might as well be able to keep this single push on the go. And this is a really good set of units to use against Zergs, even at the, you know, end game. So, the next game that I'll be showing will be, a game in which I scout and don't go for the all-in cheese. But I still use this set of units to win the game. So thank you guys for watching this one, and stay tuned for more.
I don't think I need to.
Oh. Skinner, you said. Close, you said. She must be right behind this door. She's skinning.